An unexpected twist on Piers Morgan Uncensored erupted into one of the most jaw-dropping, history-making moments ever broadcast live. Across from Piers sat Karoline Leavitt, calm, composed, immaculately put together, her eyes locked on him like polished steel. From the very first frame, there was no mistaking it. Something was coming. Something seismic. And it wasn't going to be pretty. But before we dive into this fiery exchange that rocked the media world, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because what you're about to witness is the kind of live television moment they'll try to erase, but we're bringing it straight to you. Now, let's get right into it. Piers leaned back in his chair, his trademark smirk firmly in place, still basking in the glow of what he clearly thought was a knockout critique of Leavitt's recent appearance on Capitol Hill. His British accent oozed with smug confidence as he tugged at his tie and fired the opening shot. "Miss Leavitt," he began smoothly, "surely even you must admit your recent political performances have been more about building a personal brand than serving the American people." What happened next sent shockwaves across the globe. Without missing a heartbeat, Karoline reached into a sleek leather folder, slid out a crisp legal document, and laid it flat on the desk between them. Her movements were slow, deliberate, surgical. The camera zoomed in, the seal of the United States District Court, Southern District of New York gleamed under the studio lights. Her voice was steady, low, and razor-sharp. "I'm here to serve you with something else entirely." Then came the gut punch. "You've just been served with a $20 million defamation lawsuit, live on your own show." 5 seconds of silence followed. 5 eternal seconds. The air turned electric. You could practically hear the tension crack. Piers' face flickered through a slideshow of disbelief, confusion, denial, and finally, the dawning panic of a man who just realized his show had become the story. Within 48 hours, the clip of Piers Morgan's frozen jaw went viral, amassing millions of views across the globe. 4 years, Morgan had thrived in chaos. Former tabloid editor, ex-America's Got Talent judge, master of provocation. Piers Morgan Uncensored was his personal arena, his gladiator pit for ambushing rising political stars, especially fiery conservatives like Karoline Leavitt. His style was sharp, relentless, engineered to corner and humiliate. This time, the hunter became the hunted. For 6 straight months, Morgan had zeroed in on Karoline, mocking her, branding her a fraud, dissecting her every move with smug delight. Then he crossed a line. Karoline, a disciplined attorney with a razor mind for the law, knew exactly where criticism ended and defamation began. And she knew Morgan had stepped clean over it. 3 weeks earlier, he aired a segment titled The Karoline Leavitt Problem. In it, he accused her of falsifying her academic record, implied she was under ethics investigation, and even hinted at hidden financial conflicts. Every word was false. And Karoline had the proof. When she walked onto that set, she wasn't there for another media sparring match. She was there for justice. The interview opened with Morgan's usual swagger. "Miss Leavitt," he began, "your recent political appearances have been described as theatrical grandstanding." Karoline's tone was smooth and steady. "Piers, when you stand up to power, they'll always call it theater. But that's exactly why I was elected, to speak truth and hold corruption accountable." Morgan smirked, pressing harder. "Surely some of your tactics are questionable. Your confrontation with Justice Alloway, for example." Karoline didn't blink. Legal scholars praised that exchange. "My preparation was airtight. You might not like my tone, but the facts were solid." Morgan shifted in his seat. "You're 34, barely 2 years into politics, yet you talk like a veteran policymaker. Isn't that presumptuous?" Karoline leaned forward, unshaken. "Damn, why record speaks for itself. I'm a licensed civil rights attorney, Harvard graduate, NYU Law JD, over a decade of federal case experience. Tell me, Piers, what legal training do you bring to this conversation?" The jab landed. Morgan stiffened. "I'm a journalist, Miss Leavitt. I ask the questions." Karoline allowed herself a faint smile. "Just clarifying who's doing the interrogating here." The air thickened. You could feel the control room's collective heartbeat. Morgan flipped open his folder, going for the kill. "Questions have been raised," he began, "about your financial disclosures, lobbyist ties, transparency issues." Karoline cut in, her voice hardening. "Go ahead. Be specific." "I have nothing to hide." He leaned in. "Reports claim your academic records are under review, that you're facing an ethics inquiry, and that you failed to disclose certain financial conflicts." The studio went dead silent. These were heavy accusations, And every one of them false. Karoline's tone shifted. Calm, cold, surgical. The voice of a courtroom litigator about to strike. Piers, she said slowly, you need to be very careful right now. Are you stating, on air, that my degree is under review? That I'm under investigation? That I've hidden financial ties? Sensing weakness, Morgan went for the kill. These are concerns from credible sources, he declared. The American people deserve the truth. Karoline's reply could have frozen steel. Credible sources, Piers? Who exactly are they? He gave a lazy wave, a dismissive flick of the wrist. I'm not revealing my sources, he said, smirking just enough to draw blood. That's when Karoline struck. Her voice was steady, almost too calm, the kind of calm that meant danger. You've just made several specific false statements about me on live television. My law degree has never been questioned. I'm not under investigation. And I have no undisclosed financial conflicts. She paused. Let the silence breathe. Then delivered the blade's twist. More importantly, I believe you knew those statements were false. The energy in the studio changed. You could feel it, like static before a lightning strike. Even the producers behind the glass seemed to stop breathing. Karoline leaned forward, her tone low, precise, lethal. 3 weeks ago, your own production team contacted my office. My staff responded with documented proof that every single one of those claims was baseless. And yet, here we are. For the first time, Piers Morgan's confidence cracked. His shoulders tensed, eyes darting, composure slipping just an inch. Leavitt, he muttered, I stand by my reporting. It didn't sound like conviction. It sounded like retreat. Karoline's gaze hardened to polished glass. Reporting, she repeated, her voice laced with disbelief. Piers, you haven't reported a thing. You've repeated lies without checking a single fact. You've ignored the evidence, and now you're standing here, doubling down on garbage you know isn't true. The tension snapped taut. The studio lights seemed to hum. Now, hold on just a minute, Morgan tried to interject, but Karoline's voice rose. Not a shout, just a precision strike. No, you hold on, Piers. Each word landed like a gavel. For months, you've made false claims about me. You've questioned my qualifications, my integrity, my honesty, without 1 ounce of proof. Then she moved. Slow, deliberate. Every eye tracked her hand as she reached into her briefcase. You want to talk about accountability, she said, voice low, steady, dangerous. She pulled out another folder, thick, heavy, full of promise.